presenting about the Tekken World Tour 2023, but we can't just leave like this. So Harada has mentioned that he lost some kind of competition, and he has his channel, the Harada.
Just wait, I'm waiting.
He has coasters for anyone who wants one, and he'll be passing them out at the Sony booth. So see him there.
Don't fuck with me, Murray. Don't fuck with me.
というわけで楽しんでください。
お願いします。
お願いします。
All right, I'm ready. Man, the audio for these trailers is going to be wildly inconsistent. I'm waiting, Sin. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm watching right now. I'm seeing it. Panda! Bob! Oh, Asuka! Okay, alright. Yeah, Asuka's dead because Jun's in the game, right, guys? Okay. Still have the Tekken 7 in, show for the Tekken 5 opening. Oh, that's new. Oh, that's cool. I love her voice, too. She points at you as well. Okay, she looks so sick. There's so many new things going on here. Do the Sabaki, okay. I like how she's talking so much more, too. It fits her personality so well for her to be talking shit so much while she's beating you up. I love it. Oh my god! that was a big punch. Okay, I love that. I love that. Oh, that's fantastic. See, that's the Asuka that I like. That's the Asuka that they took away in Tekken 7 because boobs. That's the Asuka I like. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm an Asuka player. Oh, man. All right. Well, that was worth, avoiding everything. Man. Yeah, I mean, Leroy looks cool, but Asuka? Oh, my God. I've said it multiple times, but I'm just going to pull up Asuka. Hold on a second. People are clowning the fuck out of this outfit. How? How? I love it. How are they clowning this outfit? I love this outfit. We also got follow-up on Can. I love how she looks so much. I do too. She's pointing menacingly. Yeah, I love the pointing that she does. I love the shit talking too. I say this time and time again. I used to be an Asuka player. I used to love Asuka. I stopped playing her in Tekken 7. I'm gonna move myself over here because of the microphone. Hold on. I stopped playing her in Tekken 7. Like, the reasons why I like her, they just got rid of. I mean, I liked her because she was a badass, right? I liked her because she was some girl who beat up a bunch of Yakuza and mob people. And people were scared of her because of how tough she was and how easy it was for her to just get into a group of people and beat the shit out of all of them. I love that. And then they in Tekken 7, they just like got rid of that so that they could focus on her boobs and just make her basically like turn her and Lily into the simp characters for Tekken, right? And then they were just like, oh yeah, let's just make a lot of porn out of Asuka and Lily. And it really devalued everything about the character for me, so I couldn't be, I just didn't want to play it because of that. It was really off-putting to me. It's not something I really care about too much, but for me, like with Asuka, the problem is that it's in such stark contrast to who she is as a character and why I liked her in the first place, that it put me off of playing the character entirely in Tekken 7. But they've brought that back now with her, which is I love it. I love it so much. I'm definitely going to play her when the game comes out for sure. Like I'm going back to being an Asuka player, absolutely. I don't know, is this like, because I don't know how it would work, but I'm not sure if this is like a high school uniform or a college uniform, because in Tekken 8 she would be in college now, right? Or maybe she would be at the end of high school, depending. I don't know. But I love this outfit. And it's also like the odd thing is too that I feel like her other ones as well, her Tekken 5 and Tekken 7 outfits, I don't mind that they're a bit fan servicey and a bit sexualized. I don't care, but at the same time, I think that with them you can have a balance of that and not trying to like overemphasize it. Because again, that's the problem I had in Tekken 7 is that they just like Tekken 5, I think it was fine because they didn't focus on it at all. It was just something that she wore. But then in Tekken 7, again, it's like she wears a crop top or she's basically just wearing a bra and then boobs, right? And I just didn't care for that because again, it feels like it's just completely, I think it takes away from the character a lot because it's the exact opposite of what Asuka should be as a character or who Asuka should be as a character. So like going to something like this that's a lot more modest but still really fits her well, I think is great. Like going for something that's more like cute, right? But not being super sexualized and not making her boobs bounce out all over the place. I love this. I think it looks amazing. I think this is one of the best outfits in the game, honestly. Asuka Kazama! God, see, like this, just right from the beginning, she punches you and she's like, oh no. I love that so much. There's so much, she does so much shit talking in this trailer. I love it so much. This is why I love this character, is because she's rowdy, she beats the shit out of people, she knows that she can just go in and fight 7 guys at the same time and beat the hell out of all of them, and then the fact that she yells at them as well as she's punching them, oh my god, I love it so much. Oh yeah! Oh, I love that she pulls towards you. I can't quite tell what she's saying because it gets cuts off. But then she points at you, she's like, Kakugoshi, like, get ready. I love that. Look at this. She does this, she points at you, and then she says, get ready. I love that. Oh, that's so good. Oh, no! Oh my god. Dude, I'm not even watching the gameplay. I'm just watching Asuka. Hold on, I gotta go back. I'm like... See, I was excited for June and Xiao. I think Asuka's the most excited I've been for a character so far. And like I was saying, like you have the very obvious safe character, Leroy. And then you have the one that's kind of unexpected being Asuka. Oh, I love this so much. Okay. I'm going to actually look at what she does instead of just looking at Asuka. Okay, here we go. Okay, already, this is just a plus on block high. That's homing. That move seems insane. Okay, 3-1. That's a standard thing. Is that like a forward 1 plus? This is new. I'm not gonna buy with notation. But this track to sidestep left, huh? Yeah. Yeah, see, this is a new punish. And then that's a new low as well. See, because this is the command grab that she has normally. But now she just has it as a punish and it gives her plus frames, which I think is perfect because that command grab wasn't that good in the first place. So now that she just has that animation on a punish, I think is great. So that's like, instead of her doing like 1-2, 1 plus 2, I guess this is the new screw, right? And now she has this flying elbow. Well, it's not an elbow, she punches, right? She punches the ground here. Yeah, that's a flying punch. That looked like a heat move, didn't it? So Leroy parries here. And Leroy's parry sticks out for a lot longer now, right? Like you could still punish it on whiff before, but now it really feels like it recovers slower. But anyway, who gives a shit? All we care about here is Asuka. Point. And then this is what, down back 2, right? And now it has a new extension. With that backflip, and then oh, you can see that she points, and then I guess that gives her access to new moves. Like, like terror charge, I guess. Because when she goes in the air like this, you can see that little green flash. Yeah, that. So that might mean she just gets this move from doing the point. She fights like a superhero. I'm in love with it. I am too. She gets a buff when she points. Yeah. Yeah, maybe she does just have this move normally as well, but it gets enhanced maybe? When did it happen before? Yeah, because it didn't happen there before. So she just has it, but it gets enhanced if she's pointed. Oh, that's where like the heat effect comes in. Yeah, so it is terror charge. Everything's terror charge. So Jin does his low here. She has a low Sabaki now. That's cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that means the thing is a lot of defensive mechanics have been nerfed, right? Like Magic 4s. But when you think about it, this is something that I heard get pointed out that I didn't think about, but is very true. But the fact is that Magic 4s existing with how powerful they are actually makes the game, like, in some ways, too aggressive. Because Magic 4s are so powerful as a defensive tool that they can very easily be used as an offensive tool, right? So if you're playing a character like Elisa, and because I do this a lot, you can be extremely aggressive with Elisa, and then when your turn ends, if your opponent tries taking their turn and you have a read on them and you know the frames, just hit the 4 button, right? And then you can counter hit launch them, which forces the defender to play even more defensively than they should. And there's a lot of things in Tekken that are that way. Wake up kicks are another one that are like that. And that's why I think they got rid of Magic 4s and wake up kicks. Because like it's something that I said when initially looking at the changes. Those moves like wake up kicks and Magic 4s and spring kicks are very strong defensive tools, but they are so powerful that a lot of the time they crutch for people that don't have good defense but just go super aggressive, because they'll go super aggressive and then they'll do Magic 4, or they won't know how to get off the ground, so they'll just like mash wake up kick or whatever, and it's so powerful that it works. So the weird thing about Tekken 8 is that they're making the game more aggressive, but they have to nerf these defensive tools, because if they didn't, then the game would actually be too aggressive, which is really weird, but it's true. So in a weird way, because they have to nerf defensive tools in order to nerf aggression, which is so strange, a lot of characters just have to have more like specialized defense tools, right? Stuff like generic down forward 4 can do that, but keep moves like Josie's forward 3 can do that as well. But what that means is that you have defensive characters like Asuka who can now be more unique with their defensive play and have more defensive tools and mechanics, right? So that's something that we're seeing here with her having the low Sabaki, right? Because like I was saying before, in a game like Tekken 8, you can't just give characters like low Sabakis, you know, because that's very similar to Magic 4, where it's like such a strong defensive tool that it can be used very offensively, right? But because Asuka is naturally a more defensive character, she can have stuff like that. So if you want a more defensive character, and that's something that I really want because I like defense and I like defense in Tekken, this is your character, right? Because defensive characters are going to be more, the defense is going to be crazier. Like, you're going to have so many more options to be able to use for defense. You're going to have a lot more creativity in your defense. Whereas in something like Tekken 7, like, yeah, Asuka's a defensive character, but do you have that much creativity in your defensive play? No, you don't, right? Because of the nature of how the game works. Anyway, I'm getting excited. It's dawned on me suddenly that this is how Asuka is going to be. That she's going to be able to be a lot more creative in a very unique way, right? That's not normally in Tekken, because creative defensive play in Tekken isn't something that really exists in Tekken, right? And I think that the idea of having creative defensive play with a character character like Asuka is really, really cool and exciting. And I gotta stop talking because it just makes me want to play this character more. Like, I was already down to play Asuka. Like I said, I've been an Asuka player. It was just before 7. But now that I'm thinking of the possibilities with this character and all of the things that she could possibly have, now that I'm thinking of how the system works and that what they're doing with like the personalities and how they're trying to go more on like archetypes and stuff, and thinking about Asuka as having strong and more creative defense is just making me like want to play the game now in a way that I haven't felt with any other character. And I gotta stop fucking talking because I'm getting really upset now that I can't play the damn game. I wonder why we're getting characters so quick, because this game is closer to releasing than we think. Also, this game, Harada has said that he wants Tekken 8. He said this multiple times, but he said that he wants Tekken 8 to have a bigger base roster than most fighting games. So 30 plus characters, right? Game is about to come out, like I said. Exactly. The game's about to come out. I'm telling you. Yeah, there's the backflip again. I gotta get that out of the way. Damn! That's what you meant by the can. That's her heat smash. That's sick. With the dive kick on the forward 1+2 armor. But okay, I want to look through that again. So she does what would normally be the wall bounce, right? Runs in. And then I get... Oh, yeah! See, all of these are like... wait, are they? Oh, no, that's just the particle effect. Never mind. But anyway, she runs in. She does that. While running 3. 1+4. And then the old move that she has. What is that? Like forward, 2-1 or something? So let's see. What is this? This is that bound again. Forward, 2-1. Wait, what even was this sequence? Oh, that was the, what is that? Up forward 2, right? And then that gives her a heat dash. It's like, yeah, because she was in heat. Yeah, that gives her a heat dash. Yeah, see, like, this is what I was talking about before. See, this is the cool thing about heat. This is why, like, even though I have problems with heat, this really speaks to me with the heat system, you know? Because I know... obviously that's like soul charge, but heat engager and heat dash does add another element to it that we don't see in SoulCalibur, right? And this is a perfect example of that, because a lot of the time you can just have Unga Bunga Death Fist in the heat dash or whatever. But here, if you get a hard read on Jin doing like 1, 2, 3, right? And you lab out Asuka and you lab these specific characters in these strings, and you know that up forward 2, which is your heat engage, will avoid this move. This is just another one of those things that makes defensive play a lot more creative with Asuka. It just goes back into that whole idea of like something that like to create defensive play, which we haven't seen in Tekken before. Because this is something that only Asuka can do, right? There aren't other characters in the game where you can lab out situations like this up forward 2 because you know that you can avoid the string and then heat engage them as a punish. Like, this is sick. It's only something Asuka can do, but this is sick, right? Like, if you think about it, if Asuka can do this off of like Jin's 1, 2, 3, imagine how many very specific situations that there are in the game for each character where Asuka can do that, and she's the only one that can punish that move with that heat engager or the heat dash or whatever, right? It makes the strategy behind playing Asuka so much more interesting than it ever has been. It also makes it a lot more interesting for the aggressor as well, because you have to really like understand and calculate your moves. You have to be a little bit more careful with your moves, because if you're playing a character like Paul, right, and you just do that like Death Fist thing, if Asuka up forward 2s that and that's able to avoid Death Fist, then she gets a huge reward out of it, right? It's something that we've never really seen in the Tekken game. This kind, because like, yeah, you can do this stuff, but like when you do that kind of stuff with like Yoshi, it's just like, okay, well, I can or can't flash this. Like, okay, I can flash Josie's forward 4, or oh, I can flash Elisa's forward 4, or like Lydia, oh, I can parry Heihachi's 1-2, and that kind of stuff, yes, is sick. But this is on a completely different level, because the other thing is too, that's not the only thing that Asuka can do, right? That's not the only sort of defensive option that she has to counter a specific situation. I'm sure there are more. I mean, you saw the low Sabaki parry, right? I mean, fuck, I don't even need to like give you a specific example. I mean, we can just go back here, right? And if you have a character who does something like this where they do a string that goes into a low and you get a read on it, then Asuka gets the Sabaki into the full launcher. You know, who's to say that she doesn't have more stuff like that? She has a sidestep one, she has a low Sabaki, we know she has the mid Sabaki, etc, etc. So I'm just thinking of all of the options that she has here potentially, and this is the most excited I've been for a character, without a doubt. Like, this sequence is so sick. God, I love this rage on. Cause you think, cause like, okay, right? This is the first time I've said I love a rage art. Okay, shut up. Cause normally I hate rage arts, but like, she hits you, right? And then she kicks your ass in the air. And you look at the impact on this as well. You topple over on her foot and then you fly up in the air. And then she's getting ready to punch you and she does this Popeye thing. And then you think, okay, well, she's just going to punch you. You know, like then she's probably might eat spinach later or something. Nah, dude, she punches you and it's not even like this big anime thing where they go flying. She holds your ass in her fist and then chucks your ass across the stage with the big boom. 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 13 out of 10. Worth waiting the entire day and night to see. Give me, hold on, add row above, add row above, add row above, add row above, Asuka. Where's Asuka? Where the fuck is she? She's not actually that, there she is, there, that. Who cares about, hold on, them? Hold on, another one below. Add another one below. There. Yeah, that's, yeah. Anyway, shall we watch the Leroy trailer now? A win pose after? Oh yeah, what's a win pose after? Okay. Oh yeah, I love this. The way that she just she's beat your dumb ass into the ground, then she stands over you, not even fazed by it, and then just says you need to stop fighting. See, this is why I love Asuka. Because this is who Asuka's always been, and they did such a terrible job at showing that in Tekken 7 because they were just like boobs and fan service and sex appeal. But like, this is why I love Asuka, because she goes into a group of people, she tells them to stop fighting, then she beats the shit out of them. She doesn't care who they are. She doesn't care if they're just some high schoolers or if they're literal fucking Yakuza. Beats the shit out of all of them, and she beats them up without a scratch on her, walks over to them and says, you need to stop fighting. I love her. Her eyes are pretty as well. Like, you can much more clearly see like her skin tone, right? This is something like going back to June, where June looks older because of her skin tone, right? But I feel like it's harder to see on June than Asuka. Like Asuka, it's a lot more clear. You know, like her face looks really good because there is more detail like here and around her nose area here. And there's a little bit under her eyes, right? But you can really clearly see her skin tone. And like where she has her makeup, like the blush and the eyeshadow and stuff. Like her face here looks really, really good. She looks like a real human, unlike Ling, which is nice. She does, though. She really does. Like, she looks more like how Asuka should look instead of... Look at the difference! And people say that this game looks like Tekken 7. Dude, it's crazy that Asuka makes Leroy look boring as hell by comparison. Asuka just blows Leroy out of the water. Jesus Christ.